And I'm going to show you guys step by step how I basically skip trace my leads and set up my campaigns. All right, guys, in this video, we are going to be doing some skip tracing. I like to use BatchLeads to do all of my skip tracing. Now, I just pulled some leads out of PropStream, and I'm going to show you guys step by step how I basically skip trace my leads and set up my campaigns to go do my cold texting and my cold calling. So in an effort to keep this video from being super long, we are just going to focus in this video on the skip tracing aspect of it. So let's jump in. Now, I used PropStream, and in some of the previous videos on my channel, you can actually go and you can watch me pull these lists of vacants, right? So you can do that over in the search area. And again, I have other videos that actually show you step by step on how I'm pulling my leads from PropStream. So in an effort to get all of these leads out of PropStream, we're going to have to export them. So basically I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lists that I pulled today. 300 leads here, 250 here, almost 200 there, 850 there, almost 5,000 on this list, almost 1,300 on this list, and almost 600 on this list. So you're looking at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's about 10,000 leads that I'm going to be exporting out of PropStream and moving over to BatchLeads, where I'm going to do my skip tracing. Now, you can actually use BatchLeads as well for pulling your actual leads. I use PropStream and BatchLeads, and in this video and in this scenario, I'm just really comfortable with PropStream. I've been using it for several years, and that's why I pulled my vacant leads out of PropStream. But you can use BatchLeads or PropStream to pull these leads. I use them both. Again, I just used PropStream for today for simplicity. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go vacant. Let's see, the St. Peter's and St. Charles. I've already pulled that out and skip traced it. So again, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lists that I'm going to be pulling out and skip tracing today. So vacant South County is the one I'm selected. I'm going to select all, and I'm going to export this list. And it's basically that simple. So 309 properties were exported. I am going to drag this down to my desktop, and I'm going to rename this so I don't forget. And actually it looks like, all right, so let's just export them all. That's probably going to be the easiest way to start. Okay, so we are going to, we just did the South County. Let's do the St. Charles County. This one's got 254. So we're going to select all, and you can see up here in the middle that it is, selected all, right? So let's go ahead and export the St. Charles County leads. And those pop down there, so that's cool. South County I just did, St. Charles County I just did. Next we're going to have Chesterfield and Baldwin. We're going to select all, click export. It's going to drop that down here on the browser, and we got 3 to go. So here's my vacants North County. We're going to select, we're going to export. Very basic here. All right, so that's number 4. Now we have north of 40 inside of 270. So we're going to select all of those, and we're going to export these. There's 4,804 leads in my north of 40 inside 270 leads that I just pulled. So these are all just leads that I pulled directly from PropStream. And again, there's previous videos, guys, for you to see how I did that. But I'm breaking these videos up for sake of time. That way we can actually just focus on the skip tracing in this video. So next is my vacants south of 40 inside 270. We're going to select all. We're going to export those. And then it looks like we just have 1 to go. Vacants, West County, 566. Select all and export. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's another one on my desktop that makes for 7. Let's double check that I got them all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that's an old one from a couple of weeks ago. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are 7 lists of leads, all vacant properties, all off market, all 30% equity or more. All of these have a 750 square foot minimum, and some of them even have a 2-bedroom minimum, right? That's basically what I'm looking for when I am pulling my lists out of PropStream. Guys, if you are not using PropStream, I highly recommend you use it for running comps and searching properties, right? You can search by county, you can search by city, you can search by zip code. You can even use this draw on the map tool to highlight a specific area like I just did here over in the St. Charles area. And you can see it's going to pull all those properties. You can even use this filter tool to narrow these down. And then of course you can click on any one of these properties at any time and see tons and tons and tons of data. You can even see estimated mortgage balances and estimated values. If you are a real estate investor, this is one of the best tools to run comps and pull motivated seller leads. All right, again, if you want to see how I pull those leads, there's videos on my channel specifically that show you how to pull these leads. What I'm going to do now is I am going to pull all of these files down to my desktop, and then I'm going to clean these files up in terms of the names of the files, and there should be 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'll clean these up, and then we're going to head on over to BatchLeads and we're going to skip trace all of these leads. All right, now we're going to head on over to BatchLeads. I pulled my list in PropStream and I exported those, and I actually just paused this video and cleaned up the name of those files. I like to have those file names nice and clean. That way I know what is actually happening, what's being skip traced. It just makes my life easier. Now, if you guys are not already using BatchLeads, I highly recommend you use BatchLeads. Not only can you pull your leads there, and again, I used PropStream, but you can do this in BatchLeads as well, but you can also skip trace your leads there. You can SMS message, direct message motivated seller leads in there. And you can also now send direct mail directly from BatchLeads. So there's a link below this video. Use that link because they're going to give you a 7-day free trial, right? But if you use the link below this video, you're actually also going to get 5,000 property records for free. So you don't even have to go do this in PropStream like I did. And in fact, you can use BatchLeads to pull these leads as well. All right. And I do it from both places. There's really no better place to do it. They both work. All right. So again, batchleads.io/Dave, or click the link below this video to take advantage of that 7-day free trial. All right. It's amazing. I absolutely love it. Now, one of the best parts about BatchLeads, and specifically the skip tracing part of BatchLeads, is the match savings. All right. So batch skip tracing, great place to skip trace, but it's a la carte. So every time that you add a list in there, it's going to give you 100% of the leads that you add in. It's going to try to skip trace those, and it's going to give you the results. The reason I don't specifically like batch skip tracing is because if I already own the data, right? And I own a lot of skip tracing data. In fact, let's go take a look, and let's just go to my dashboard over here on BatchLeads, and you can see I've skip traced 107,000 property records already. If I'm pulling a list of vacant properties, or I'm pulling a list of absentee properties, and I've already have, let's say 20 or 30 or maybe even as many as 50 or 60% of those leads, right, on another list that I've already paid to skip trace, why on earth would I want to pay to skip trace that information again, right? I've already paid to skip trace it. I already have that information. It doesn't make sense for me to pay for that same data twice. That's why I prefer BatchLeads for my skip tracing over batch skip tracing. Now, again, it's the same skip tracing provider, but with BatchLeads, it's a subscription-based service. So again, if you want a la carte, batch skip tracing is the best place online to do your skip tracing, right? But BatchLeads, in my opinion, is even better because it's the same skip tracing that you get through batch skip tracing, but with BatchLeads, it actually pulls out all of those leads that you've already skip traced, and it doesn't charge you to skip trace them a second time. Guys, why would you want to pay to skip trace data that you already own? In my case, I've already purchased 107,644, right at the top up here, right here, leads. So it doesn't really make sense for me to pay to skip trace them again. So what I'm going to do over here is I'm going to go over to my skip tracing portal, and you can see the matches right here in this column. And I can maybe even make this a little bigger so you can see it a little better. There you go. The matches, these are lists that I've added, and this shows how many matches were on that list from my previous skip tracing. And you can see, you know, I have several. It looks like I have 4 pages or 59 different skip traces that I've actually done in BatchLeads. All right. So again, if you're not using it, take advantage of the 7-day free trial. There's a link you can click below that'll give you that trial, but it will also give you 5,000 property records, and you can pull those property records over here in the list search area. And this is very, very similar to services like PropStream, which is where I got my leads today. All right, I use them both. But again, today's video is all about skip tracing, David. Focus. That's what we're going to do. I cracked myself up. So these matches are amazing, though. Like this particular list here, right? This deal machine export of all my driving for dollars, there was 6,885 property records. Well, 4,520 records I already own. I already paid for. Why on earth would I want to pay for these again? This one single skip trace saved me $452. Crazy. So today we're going to actually skip trace 7 lists, not just one. We're going to do 7 of them. All right. And I'm curious to see how many of these vacant property leads I already own. So we're going to do a little test here. So in order to skip trace my first list, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here to the top right and I'm going to click import my contacts. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag in the property. So this first list is going to be my vacant properties here in St. Louis County. So we are going to select the next button here. And all we got to do from here is just match the data, but they are really good about helping you with this. In fact, these little blue check marks are already matches that they've helped you with. So I always want to verify this, right? So my address is address, my unit number will be address 2, my city is my city, my state's my state, and my zip is my zip. Very good. Next, owner first name, owner last name. Next is the mailing address, right? If you skip trace with both addresses, it's going to be more accurate. So I always encourage people to do both of these. So your mailing address, your mailing unit number will be address 2, your mail city, your mail state, and your mail zip. Now, any of this other information that I have here isn't really that important in terms of skip tracing. So it's really not required, okay? So as long as you have your address, your mailing address, and then your first name and last name, that's typically enough information for you to start your skip trace. So again, I'm going to be doing 7 of these today. So I apologize if this video is extra long, but you can always fast forward through that. So next, I'm going to click next, and it says this first list is 309 contacts. So 309 contacts selected. My price per skip tracing is 10 cents, and that's going to vary depending on the package that you have with BatchLeads. I have the highest and best package because I'm a pro. Why wouldn't I have the best package, right? But of course, if you don't want to have the highest package, that's okay. But your price per skip tracing records, it may be 12 cents or it may be 14 cents. Mine is only 10 cents again because I have the best package. Now, the estimated total, and that's assuming that 100% of these 309 leads are going to skip trace, it's only going to cost me $30.90. But I'm pretty confident that some of the leads, and again, this is why I love batch leads so much, some of these leads are going to already be in my system. I'm already going to have these vacant leads, not all, some. So why would I want to pay for them a second time? I wouldn't. So assuming that 100% of these leads are skip traced and 0% of these leads are already in my system, the total will be $30.90. But after the skip tracing is complete, it's actually going to show me what I spent, as well as how many leads were already in my system, as well as how much I saved. So let's jump in. Next, I'm going to click Start Skip Tracing. And I got to select a list right here. Or what I can do is I can add them to a list. And since I'm doing 7 different properties today, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to call these all, let's do it, STL vacants. And we're going to call, and then we'll just date this. So today is 5/25/21. So we'll use this list every time that I am skip tracing today. So, it didn't work. So we'll do STL vacants, and it is 5/25. STL vacants 5/25. So that's the list that we're going to add. New list name, STL vacants 5/25, and tags we'll just do vacants. All right. And then what we're going to do is I have my list selected here, and I have my vacants as my tag. If I wanted to add more tags, I could do so, but I don't care to do that today. Next, I'm just going to do Start Skip Tracing. Now from here, I can pull from my actual wallet balance, which you can see at the top, or I can actually pay now. All right, so I'm just going to pay now because I don't want to eat through my entire wallet balance. I use that wallet balance for skip tracing and or sending direct mail. I'm sorry, not skip tracing. You can use it for skip tracing, direct mail, but also you can use that wallet balance to send and receive text messages, right? You're going to have to pay to do that, and it's like a penny a piece or maybe even less. It's extremely cheap, crazy cheap. But anyway, I'm going to purchase my skip trace right here, and then it's going to ask me to enter in my email as well as my card information. So I'm going to pause this video, add that information, and then click pay, and then we'll resume. All right, this one here, 254 records, 212 matches. Wow. Saved 20 bucks. We only spent $2 on that one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 done, 2 to go. And this is basically all the vacants. I probably didn't need to do this into 7 individuals. I probably could have done it in 2 or 3, but it is what it is, right? So property address, unit, city, state, zip, first name, last name, mailing address, city, state, zip looks good. This one here, let's also put into the vacants. We're going to tag it vacant. Looks like it's going to be 85 bucks for 858 contacts. Let's go ahead and start our skip trace. We can just use our wallet. Based upon what we've seen already, most of these leads are already in our database, so we're not even really paying for most of these. We're just really trying to get the new vacants, and really, this is not that uncommon. I expected that going into making this video today and doing this skip trace. Because I pull vacants usually once a month. Sometimes it'll be, 2 months that it'll take for me to pull them. But, on average, I'm pulling vacants, 10 to 15 times a year, right? Basically once a month. And when I go pull my vacants, I pull all of the vacants in the area, in the county or in the city or in that region. Today I'm doing regions. I'm not just, trying to find the new vacants. I'm pulling all of the vacants. So, you could go about your process a little different where, maybe you are only trying to locate the new vacants, and maybe there's software that will help you do that. Maybe PropStream or BatchLeads will even help you do that. But what I do is because I don't have to pay to skip trace the same lead twice, I don't worry about trying to just get the new ones. Instead, I just pull all of the vacants and drop them in here to batch leads, as you've seen me do, 6 times at this point. And then from there, I will just skip trace them and just not pay for the same lead. So that's why I love batch leads so much. It's like the most incredible software. Love it. All right, let's see. This is 858 records. This maybe take 1 or 2 minutes here. So let's go ahead and pause it, let that do its thing, and then we'll circle back. All right, there was about a 2-minute break there. So let's go ahead and refresh. I would imagine we're going to be good with that. Boom, 725 matches out of 858, and we had an 88% hit rate. So that was only $3 skip trace, guys, to skip 858 records, because 725 of those were already in the system, and only 88% of the 858 was actually new. So boom, we got 1 to go, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 1 to go. I know this video is going to be about 35 minutes long, so appreciate you guys hanging in there with me on this. Want to see address to city, state, zip. Looks good. First name, last name. Looks good. Mail address to city, state, zip. Boom. All that looks really, really good. Let's go ahead and add this also to our vacant list. Let's go ahead and put that as vacants. This is a $16 skip trace. If all of them are come back, obviously. I doubt that's the case, but there's 168 total. Let's go ahead and do that. We'll just use our wallet, and 168 records. I don't even need to pause the video. This is such a small amount. This will probably only take maybe 20 or 30 seconds. So guys, before we wrap this video up, again, I want to stress, check out BatchLeads.io/Dave. Click the link below this video. Not only are you going to get the 7-day free trial, but you're going to get 5,000 property records for free. And I didn't even pull my property records from Batch Leads. I had already pulled my property records from PropStream. But again, you can use property records from anywhere. Batch Leads will allow you to use records. You can pull records from anywhere else, of course, and import them in. I do like Batch Leads because of the match savings, though. That is really the intent and the purpose of this video, is to teach and talk about the match savings, right? That's the most important thing, all right? Let's go ahead and do a quick refresh. I'd imagine this is going to be done. Boom, it's done. 148 matches. It didn't even cost me anything. Reason is it only got an 88% hit rate, and of the ones that did hit, I already had them in my system. Crazy. So today, literally, by not having to try to only add new leads to the system and just try to filter out the new vacants, I was able to import 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, about 9,000 leads, give or take. And of course, there was match savings on a ton of those. It looks like my biggest skip trace was probably this one here, my North County vacants. 2,500 matches of a 78% hit rate. So basically, long story short, we'll call that 2,150. I spent about $160 doing the skip trace today. I saved, let's see, call that 200, 450, $550. I'm guessing here. I'm just kind of averaging these numbers, but I spent about $150 and I saved $550 using Batch Leads to skip trace. Again, I prefer Batch Leads for skip tracing over batch skip tracing because you get to take advantage of the match savings. If you're doing smaller lists or you just want to do a la carte, that's totally fine. Batch skip tracing is the place to go. It's great. But if you are a pro and you're doing this a lot, and like if I head back over to my dashboard, again, I reviewed this earlier in the video, but I've literally skip traced 108,000 property records. And if you are doing this many property records like me, right, you're doing this many of them, you want to take advantage of the match savings, guys. It is so incredibly important. The more you use this system and the more you skip trace, the more records you are going to have. Therefore, the more matches you're going to have. This is super, super beneficial too whenever you are, let's say you have a zone that's about this big, right? And you do a big circle here and skip trace this, and then you do a big circle here and skip trace this. Well, all those ones in the middle there, right, that are crossover, those are going to be matches, right? If you're pulling big lists of vacants, and you're pulling this list every month like I am, you're going to have matches. If you're pulling big list of absentee owned properties, you're going to have matches. Do not spend money to skip trace leads that you already own. It's so important. So guys, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something. Take advantage of those 5,000 free property records and the 7-day free trial over on BatchLeads. Again, click the link below this video to take advantage of that. And again, thanks for watching. I hope you learned something. Signing off.